Hi Muses! I'm just like checking myself, taking a breather. I've been downloading and brainstorming and journaling on my one-on-one private coaching that's going to be coming up. And I just came off a really great welcome consult that I give to a new Muse Mojo member. My Muse Mojo is a village where I house all my creativity resources to help you basically live a life of joyful purpose in connection with your muse, with your creativity. Because for me, creativity is like life. It's something that really helps you to find your full expression. And as I really dig into it, because that's one of the exercises that my coach and I are working on to really like find what it is I really believe in, my brand message, which is really just what I believe in, what I stand for, and what it is that I can offer to help my perfect, ideal human coaching client, right? Anyway, I just wanted to take a break from it, and while still kind of mulling on this stuff. And on the weekend, I didn't do any work, which is really new for me. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Brenda Mangalore. I'm an artist. I am a muse mentor. I am a painter. I basically create art that's about connection to yourself, to the spiritual, your spirituality, to the divine, to God, to the world around you. I believe in that connection as an anchor and as a path for your full expression, because that's what I'm being called to do, to live my own life in full expression, a life of joyful purpose, which means it's not just play and fun, although that's a big part of it, but also having a purpose, fulfilling your calling, all of that good stuff. And whether it is with my paintings, which is colorful, abstract paintings that help my collectors really express their personality and their values and the things that they love, which is about beauty and creativity and color and full expression, which is what I hope my art has, my paintings, but also in my Muse Mojo, my mentoring, where it's about full expression in all areas of your life, not just how you decorate your house, even though right now I'm going to be coming on talking about that because I went on a double date with my hubby and his friend and his new wife. It always sounds weird when you say new wife. It's like, what happened to the old wife? He didn't have an old wife. It's his wife. Anyway. And it was a beautiful place, and it really struck me that beauty and creativity and details matter in your spaces, because I'm talking a lot about, right now I'm booking out my commissions for 2019 and really thinking about, coming across people who might feel like art and beautiful things that you have in your home is something that's a luxury and it becomes an afterthought, and it's a nice to have but not important. And in that restaurant, it was this beautiful gold terrazzo table, and they used beautiful gold cutlery, and the way that they served us, obviously it's a full experience, but it added to the tone and essence and energy that when you step into it, you feel that, and it sets our mood for how we interact with each other, right? And so I believe that your spaces can give you the experience that you want, to connect you back to your intentions, to connect you back to an environment that sets your energy and your mood the way you want it to. Like your home and your spaces should feel not just relaxing and a place to like sleep and connect with your family, but it should help you feel like it's a space that re-energizes you back to the things you value and the things that make you want to rise up and get fired up and to feel reconnected and to feel that you are loved and that you are seen and that you are known. That is my thing, right? In my art, in my mentoring, all of that, I hope that you understand the reason why I want you to get to your full expression is because God loves you. You are loved, you are seen, you are known, you are not alone in your weirdness. Your weirdness is going to be your superpower. And so yes, having a painting, right? Having a space that feels beautiful and not cluttered. And I don't mean like neat and tidy and Marie Kondo-ish, because if you look at my house, this is my studio space, right? It's actually pretty decluttered, but I'm talking about cluttered as in, and I'm going through this in my house all the time, things that you've just kind of left because you haven't thought about it in a while and it actually doesn't serve you, you don't actually need it anymore, that kind of cluttered. Or ways of doing things and that's just the way it's always been done, but actually doesn't actually work with the flow of things, and like really clearing that. And part of that is people always have well-meaning intentions of making a home that is more than just a place to keep your stuff, or a place to sleep, or a place where your family sleeps, or where you have dinner and stuff, but also a space that feels like the way you would feel on holiday, in a hotel, in a beautiful restaurant, in an art gallery, in a magazine home. It feels loving and warm, but at the same time, a space that you can really connect to your higher best self, your spiritual relationship, your relationships with one another, your values about family and love and connection and personal development and growth and being connected to the divine and to your creativity and all of that stuff. And your home and your space can do that, which is why I offer my commissions as more than just, I have my beautiful paintings and I'm working on a new collection at the same time right now, as well as brainstorming my private coaching that's coming up soon. But my personal body of work in terms of my original paintings, yes, they're beautiful, and those for whom it is for and they connect and they resonate with it, my collectors, and then they buy it for their home, all of that stuff. And it gives all these things that I'm talking about. Building a place, a space that is colorful, it reflects your personality, it reflects your passions and your loves and your interests, which is like beauty and luxury, but also just color, and reminding yourself that you are worthy of beauty and of things that inspire you and that connects you to your own creativity and to your own power and to your own divine relationship. You are allowed that. It's obviously if you love blank white walls and that makes you feel good, like the Kim Kardashian, Kanye West kind of monk home, that then definitely create that. Be intentional about it. That's my whole point. But if you go, I feel like, yes, this is my home, but it doesn't quite have my personality, it doesn't really speak it. And when I come home, there's always this niggly feeling of like, I wish there was something more. I wish that this was more than just a space to sleep, but this is also like a temple to my personal development, evolution, and connection to my divine and spirituality, as well as to my higher self. Like, you can actually create that, right? Instead of having it in one corner of your home, you can have that with artwork, with photos of memories, or with the things that remind you of family or your travels, or things that are intentional in connecting you with the things that you value and that inspire you and brings you back to either an anchor in your life, especially when life feels chaotic, but also an anchor to who you want to be, and it reminds you of who you were and how far you have come. All of those things and stuff is more than just functional. They can actually serve as windows to who you were and how far you've come, but also to the legacy that you're building right now, which all sounds really big for like a beautiful carved bowl, right? And yet it's more than just a beautiful carved bowl. You remember the time you trekked to that village and you bought it and you connected to that woman who couldn't speak the same language as you, and she reminded you of your mother and reminded you that adventures provide you with connection that is beyond where you were. That kind of stuff. It's why we love travel. It's why we love having experiences like enjoying a beautiful degustation meal with your husband and friends, because it connects you to more than what it is. At the same time, it brings you back to being present, to where you are, to being grateful, to being reminded of the abundance and blessings and wealth beyond money that you have available to you now. Where was I going with this? Right, beauty and details matter. Man, I was just talking about this with my welcome consult with the new Muse Mojo member. We were talking about what she was working on with her creativity and where she's at and stuff. And we were talking about how we go on a tangent, and she felt like that was distracting. And I'm like, yeah, but I do that all the time. But I trust that there was a reason for it, that what gold will come from that, provided because I trust the process and I trust that I am available and open to insight and inspiration and wisdom to come through me. And that those of you who are watching, comment below, love hearts and stuff if you are watching this. Even if you're watching the replay, as well with all my videos, make sure you comment #yay replay so that I know that you're watching. And also, you know, it not only just helps these videos be seen by more people who might need this message of understanding that you are allowed to create a space that inspires you beyond just having a nice clean home to sleep in. It definitely helps with that. But also I feel like when you comment on videos that you connect with, that you also sink a little deeper with the insights that are going to come to you from what I say. So yeah. What was I going to say? Yes, going on a tangent, and I trust the process. And I trust that process because I've built that practice and that belief and that faith that what I am sharing is of high value and that is part of my calling and it's of service. And that was the other thing I wrote in the title for this live stream about how you don't need more patience. This was an insight I got on a weekend. I was solo parenting. Hubby was on a little boys retreat with his friends, work friends and stuff, which is fine. You know, that they enjoy that. And so I got to enjoy solo parenting time with my 2 girls. If you don't know me, I got 2 girls under 5, so I'm primary care for them as well. If I got to do school pickup, but because he's going to do school pickup today, I got time to like chat with you and really like talk about all this stuff that was, because I didn't do any work on the weekend, I was like, I'm just going to like be there and just hang out and play with them, which I don't usually get a lot of time to do because it's like, finish your dinner, get the bath ready, get to bed on time, I've got school lunches to make, I've got laundry to fold, and trying to basically get my toddler to like move and not take her sweet time. Because you know when a toddler wants to do things herself and you're like, sure. And then, you know, 5 years later, we finally made up the 5 steps to go upstairs so we can take a bath, right? Because she can do it herself. And because of that, I had that space, and then all these insights and stuff, I was just coming in and I was just bursting to share it with you guys, with my muses. And that was, no, I don't need more patience. You don't need more patience. People kind of mean, you know, and I have this myself where it's like, why is things not happening the way I want it to happen now? Why can't I be there already? And I just got this kind of wisdom dropped in of like, no, you don't need more patience. You just need more trust. You need to trust that you are where you are at and you are meant to be here. You have everything that you need already, that you are ready. You don't need more patience. You need to remember and have more faith that you are being called for a reason, that you are given what you need, that right now you are where you're meant to be because something is coming to you, and that you believe in divine timing and that it is serving you for your higher good. That is what you need. And I was just like, oh, because a lot of the time my impatience is like with my girls, right? And I want to do this thing now. I want to do my thing now. And basically it's forgetting that trust and faith that the reason everything's on, there's delays. If they talk about divine delays, that there's a delay for a reason, that there was something that you need to get from this moment, that even though it feels like a delay from what your original intention was, but your higher intention is always to be connected to God, to the divine, that you get insights and inspiration, and that you are learning lessons and being told messages in life and in the world around you and in with your connection to yourself. And so just seeing that and just allowing and surrendering to the moment, man, I had a best time like on Saturday just hanging out with my 5-year-old and having conversations with her and recognizing, because one of the things I really wanted to do a lot more this next few months is to really kind of reconnect back to my firstborn, because I've been so focused on the toddler, and reconnect back to her but in a new way. Like she's growing up so fast, and kind of being her friend, not still being her parent, still being the mother with the rules and stuff, but like being a friend, so that if she has something that she needs to share with me in this new season of starting school and everything, that I am there for her. And that required me to be patient about not pushing my agenda and about you know, navigating and curating exactly where we want to go and getting stuff done, because I wasn't trusting that we are where we need to be at, and that if I allowed it to kind of unfold in the slow way that I wouldn't have preferred, there was going to be magic, connection and insight and wisdom and connection that my higher self has intended for it to be, would come in divine timing. And I really practiced that weekend, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Which then was like, oh, then I don't, because, you know, people always say to me, oh, but Brenda, I just need more discipline and consistency. And on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, sometimes it's just about discipline, because discipline is freedom. If you want more freedom in your time and being able to create work that you love, you need to be disciplined in it. You need to show up consistently. You need to like show up for the work even though you don't feel like it. But on the other hand, a part of that fear or lack of consistency is because of that, again, lack of trust and faith in your calling, in what it is that you're desiring, that you are allowed to enjoy the process in all its awkward imperfection, and that you are allowed to feel good about the process instead of it having to be hard work and discipline and consistency. You know, on the one hand, yes, definitely kick your own ass if you need to. But on the other hand, is it because you're not showing up because a part of you feel like what you're doing is not good enough, that your work is not valuable, that you don't have enough faith in the process, that every baby step that you're taking is stacking up and it is valuable and it is serving your final goal and laying the foundations that you need to get to where you want to go. And it's that trust and faith again. And if you had more of that, and I'm saying this as much for you as it is for myself, if I had more faith and trust, I would show up a lot more consistently. Because a lot of the time, the reason I'm telling myself, oh, don't show up on this video, you don't have anything good to say, is because I don't trust or have faith that God was going to be able to give me a message, that I'm going to be good enough, that I have something inspiring to say, that anything that I say is going to be valuable and that's going to be worth my time. And if I trusted that and had deep faith in that, I would. Like, it would be fun. It would be like if you knew that everything that you did was of value and was adding and working towards what it is that you want to work towards, wouldn't you have more fun and pleasure and enjoyment about showing up consistently in ways that other people might see as like, oh my God, that's so disciplined? You know, like the things that you enjoy, I'm sure people don't need more discipline to show up and watch TV, but because they enjoy it and it's part of the things that make them feel good, they don't need more discipline in consistently showing up every day to watch that TV, right? And so I'm like okay, so how can I find more pleasure and joy in the process, in the incremental things? And again, that's that patience factor and having and building. So then part of my work is not just showing up and being consistent and all that kind of stuff, is how do I tap back into trust and faith? And same with when people say to me, but Brenda, I'm not sure, I'm not clear on what my message is, I'm not clear. That's why I was getting this from my welcome consult. I need certainty that this is the right way, this is the right path. And again, you don't need that. You don't need clarity. You need to trust that the answers will come as you're walking towards it, as you're moving, as you're taking action, the clarity will come. That while you're walking in the fog and it's scary, it will clear up as you keep moving forward, and that you're only given a few steps ahead because that's all you need to keep moving forward. Even though, and I totally get this, you want to see the bigger picture, you want to see exactly the 100 steps that you need to take to get to that end goal. And right now, all you can see is the 1 or 2 steps in front of you. And that requires a lot of faith. And as well as having faith that you are going to be capable of figuring it out. Like, there may be curveballs. Maybe you do suck and you don't feel like you have clarity or certainty in your capability, but that's when you need to build that trust and faith that you're going to be able to figure it out, that you will have access to the resources that you need to learn what you need, or to just find the tools that you need, or the help and support that you need to work it out and take the next step and to take the next step. And so this whole trust and faith thing comes back to, do you believe and have trust and faith that you are allowed to invest the time, energy, money and attention into your spaces the way that a beautiful restaurant does to their spaces, because they're trying to cultivate a certain mood and atmosphere and climate for their patrons, and that you are worthy and allowed to spend that time and investment in time, energy, attention, and money and effort and all that kind of stuff in doing that for yourself in your home, in your office, wherever, and develop my spiritual practice. It's my space to really connect to my creativity and the divine and the things I value, like family and connection, and building the kind of life that supports the growth emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually of my children. And so all of those things add to that. Like, so I do have a gallery wall, not just of my art. Actually, no, I think there's only one tiny piece of my art there. The rest is other artists that I love. And the reason I want that is because I know the visuals, even if you don't half pay attention on it focused all the time, but it's kind of in the background, I know it adds to the atmosphere and climate and energy and vibe of my home. And I want to create a home of creativity and expression for my children, and it's important to me. And this is what I believe in, and why I'm telling you to that you need more trust and faith, and that you are allowed to cultivate that space, is that beauty and creativity shouldn't be an afterthought. It was important to you, and you know that it gives your life deeper meaning than just doing what you need to do, because beauty, art, creativity is a way of full expression and cultivation of that connection to yourself, to inspiration, to divine. It shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be a priority. And you are allowed to make it a priority without it taking away from all your other values. It helps you connect to your values and express it in a way that reflects your personality, your passions, the interests and loves of your whole family who live in that home or who uses that space. And art, obviously, is part of that. And obviously I have, a bias towards that. And that's why I'm offering my commissions and I'm booking it out for 2019. Definitely message me if you would like to have that experience of creating a painting that is for you. It's a collaborative effort. If you love this is obviously not for everyone. You have to love my paintings and resonate with it on a soul level. And this is the difference between just buying a painting from my collections that I have available in my shop versus a commission, right? Just like in a restaurant, you can order a la carte and just pick from the menu, or you just experience a menu that's been crafted and curated and designed as an experience for you. And that's what my commissions are, like that degustation menu, except you get to collaborate with it because I include your intentions, your values, your personality, your passions, your memories and milestones, and the intentions that you really want for your home and space. I integrate that into the painting so that every time you pass by that painting in your home, it's not just a beautiful Brenda Mangalo original. You remember all your intentions that you set with it, all the memories that you want to remember of that season, but also bring with you to the future. But also, because we talk about what your future goals and visions and hopes are for the future, it will kind of bring it back to the present. So it serves as a portal in that sense. And then you will be reminded of your value and your worthiness and remembrance of those values and worthiness, and that you are allowed to connect with your creativity and with what inspires you and what you believe in your spiritual relationship, and be connected to that daily, as well as just be a reflection of all of that stuff all together, right? In a beautiful, obviously, masterpiece that I couldn't have made on my own, because it's your soul, your heart, my hands, and together it makes this unique piece of work. So definitely message me to get more information about the commissions, experience is called the Conscious Communion Commissions, because it's all about consciously communing with the divine, with yourself, with your intentions, with your higher best self, all that kind of stuff. And it's a full experience. Message me to get more information about it and to apply to get a discovery call so we can chat and check that this is what we are a good fit. So back to, I had a thought. It's not an afterthought. Right, because you're a physical being. For all our spiritual talk about intentions and values and all this mind stuff, we are still a body that lives in this three-dimensional space. And to underestimate how much our three-dimensional space affects our energy and mental and emotional health is ignorant, and it denies you the holistic wellness that you're working towards for yourself and for your family. And factoring that in, it means you cannot leave the curating and being intentional about the things that you have around you as an afterthought. So this doesn't have to mean you have to overhaul your whole house and you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars with an interior designer who's going to like pick all the expensive designer things for your home. It just means looking at each piece of items, of things that you have in your home. And I always believe that you should have things that are functional, but also you're allowed to have them to be functional and beautiful, and to invest that time in it. And not just because it's a beautiful garlic peeler, but because it was well designed and crafted, and you recognize the creativity in someone who like thought up a way to like peel and mince garlic in a way so you don't have to do it by hand. Like, that's ingenuity and creativity. And every time you use it, if you're intentional about it, it's the whole Marie Kondo thing. We're back again to her about finding things that spark joy, because it's not about getting rid of stuff. It's about being intentional about the stuff that you have around you. And it's about, you are allowed to have beautiful things because they're just beautiful. And so even though my paintings, I do believe they're more than just pretty paintings, that they are beautiful by in their own right, that any form of art, right? Like, I'm just looking at this on my window right now. Look at this, right? Look at this. For me, this is a beautiful form of artwork that's kind of functional, but I don't really need this plant, but it reminds me of connection to nature and to God and little cute things that I love. It also, from a functional point of view, makes me have to water it, and it's in my studio space. So I have a lot of plants in my studio space because it means I have to water it almost daily, and then it makes me come in and to do the work and show up consistently, which we talked about earlier. But also, it's a beautiful crafted piece of work, and it's cute. And it just reminds me to connect to that playful side of myself, right? Because I'm not all about purposeful life, but it's also joyful. And play really connects me back to that flow and freedom that I value. And so do you understand what I mean by being intentional about the things that you create in your home, right? And that not to leave it as an afterthought. Yeah. Meet clients. So I don't know whether that got cut off. Like, I created a commission where she was going to hang it to where she was going to meet clients. And so then we talked about the intentions that she have for what the clients would feel when they come into that space and they'll see that painting while they're in the waiting room. And so I connect with that because that is important. You need to connect with that first. Those intentions and values and the atmosphere and energy that you want first. And then you ask, does this serve that? What is missing? What do I need to get rid of because it no longer serves me? I've just forgotten that it was there. I've just left it there because it's just easier than having to deal with the memories of it. This is just the way we've always done it, but actually it doesn't really serve me. All those questions, it's a process, it's a practice, but taking that first baby step of intentionally asking yourself the question, what do I want to create? What is the atmosphere and energy that I want to have? What are the intentions I want to connect with on the daily? And am I living or intentionally creating, because it's, it ebbs and flows with you, right? Creating the space for that, for myself, for my partner, for my family, for my children. If you can go away with that, I'll be really happy. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, as I mentioned, I am currently booking out for conscious communion commissions. Definitely message me if that's something that interests you. Otherwise, I'm working on one-on-one private coaching, talking about really connecting to your creativity and what it is that you want to do with your art. Otherwise, right now, what you can do is check out Muse Mojo. My village is my membership. If you like access to my creativity resources, where I basically talk about this stuff all the time. We are setting our 90-day goals coming up in a few days to set for September, and working on intentionality and curating and cultivating that intention of what it is that we want to work towards, and be co-creators of our lives with our higher self, with our current self, with God, and with our creativity, because I believe your creativity is going to be your anchor to help you navigate and find your own way to connect to your full expression and do the work that you've been called to do. Message me or comment in the comments below, #MuseMojo, or definitely private message me, or message me in my messenger about commissions, because that's we need to chat and make sure that we're a good fit and stuff. There's only 5 spots available until the end of the year. Next year in 2020, obviously price is going to increase, and it's going to, not going to be open. Everything's going to up level for then. So this is the time. This is also the perfect time to think about Christmas presents for yourself, for a loved one, for your home, if you really want to set that space, especially if you're marking a new season. Like I was recognizing this year, this is the first year my firstborn is starting school. It was a whole change. It was definitely a whole new season, and marking that time. So a lot of the paintings I'm working on currently for the next body of work is going to remind me of this season of my life. If you want to build that, you know that 2020 is going to be a new season, new chapter, new milestones that you want to be marking. Chat to me now to get commissions done in time for that, to set yourself up for 2020. Otherwise, I will see you next time. I really hope that you will take this on board about trust and faith. That's what you need more of most of the time, not patience, discipline, consistency, or clarity. And that the details, and that your desire for beauty matters, that you can be intentional about curating the energy, atmosphere, and mood of the space that you live in and hang out in, because it does affect the way you show up and connect with and be in the world. So whether that it's buying my art or buying somebody else's art, or just getting rid of the stuff that no longer serves you in your home, and just being mindful and intentional about what it is that you have around you. And I will see you next time in the next video. Remember that you are loved, you are seen, you are known. Your creativity is a source for you to be able to tap into that connection to the divine, and to help you with your full expression to do the work that you're being called to do in the world. And I will see you next time in the next video. Bye.